Welcome back to On the Rise as Canada is set to face Suriname in the Nations League Quarter Finals, and we're here to break it all down with my match preview, giving you guys my predicted lineups, scores, and general takes around this first leg, as it's a very exciting match and a great opportunity for Jesse Marsch and this Canadian men's national team. Before we jump into it, guys, drop down below, smash that sub button, drop a like, guys, because we're so close to 500 subscribers, and the support has been incredible. Also hit the comments, let me know your guys' predicted lineups and thoughts on this first leg. But we're going to jump straight into it, guys, with no hesitation, because this is a very exciting match and a great opportunity for Jesse Marsch. His first true competitive fixture within Concacaf, getting to play in the Nations League quarterfinals against Suriname. It's not an easy fixture. Yes, he's played against Panama in a friendly match. He's had other friendlies before the Copa America, but never a true competitive match within CONCACAF. So this is a very exciting match for Jesse Marsch to get that first taste of competitive football within CONCACAF. And it's a great opportunity. Yes, he's played US. Yes, he's played Mexico. All friendlies. So this is an exciting match for Jesse Marsch, especially against Suriname, which is a very tricky fixture. It's one of the longest, if not the longest, away days within CONCACAF, especially for Canada. Traveling a very long distance, especially these Canadian players. A lot of this team now is in Europe, having to travel back to Canada from Europe and then heading all the way to Suriname. It's a very long distance, and it is a crazy distance for a football team to play off the back of a long journey, especially on a very tricky pitch in Suriname. It's a very small stadium, a very low capacity stadium, but also the pitch, of course, won't be great. Most pitches within CONCACAF aren't great as well, so if Canada can deal with that pitch and get past this tricky Suriname team, it'll be very exciting for Jesse Marsch, especially heading to BMO, where he could potentially try some different systems, try a different formation, try some other players within the side, especially with Alphonso, Davies, and Cornelius already not on the squad. If Canada can get by Suriname on the road, it poses a very interesting second leg. But I really do think this is going to be a tricky fixture away in Suriname. It's a long distance, a big travel for a lot of these players, especially heading to Suriname on a tricky pitch. It's going to be an exciting first leg, especially with some tricky players within this Suriname side, especially the number one player within this team, who is of course the man himself in Geraldo Becker, who's been doing it everywhere he goes. Most recently, he's going to have confidence as he's coming off the back of a very good performance against FC Barcelona, where he scored on the weekend against Barcelona, and he will be the player that Canada is going to have to mark down. And without Cornelius and Alphonso Davies, it'll be very exciting to see how Moise Bombito can handle it, how the likes of Kamal Miller or Joel Waterman will be able to handle the task. So it's a very interesting poise and opportunity for whoever comes into that left side of that back line, and for Jesse Marsch to finally mix up this back line with a decent attack from Suriname. They have a very good attacker up there, but also they have some good pieces along that back line. The likes of Stefano Denswell, who plays for Trabzonspor, the likes of Haps, who plays for Venezia. There's some decent players in that Surinamese back line, as they do have a lot of course, Dutch dual nationals who have come through this nation and through this team. This Suriname side is no pushover, as they have a lot of dual national recruits, and it's going to be a long away day for this Canadian team. It'll be a very exciting first leg, but this Canadian team should be up to the task. Without Alphonso Davies, without Cornelius, Canada shouldn't be sweating Suriname anymore. This Canadian team is playing all over Europe, is playing with some of the best sides within MLS. Just looking at the players who are filtered throughout this team, you have a Celtic player, OGC Nice, the likes of Marseille, Porto, Los Lille, Mallorca. It's a very exciting team, guys. This is no longer that MLS side that should be scared of Suriname, that should be scared of Honduras, that should be scared of El Salvador. This is a Canadian side that should be looking, of course, as the giant of CONCACAF, and shouldn't be scared of Suriname anymore, in my opinion. This, albeit an away leg, albeit a tricky CONCACAF opponent, Canada should win this game. And I don't think we should win with any qualms, with any problems. This should be not a walk in the park, but this should be a leg and a opponent that Canada is able to walk by and briskly walk by, in my opinion. We're getting to that point now where we're challenging Uruguay. We're challenging the likes of Argentina. We're going up against Chile. And we're beating these sides, or we're competing with them at a high level. So I don't think we should be scared of Suriname anymore. But guys, we're going to jump straight into my predicted lineup. And this is the very big question for this Canadian side, truly. Is the heart of this team in the back five? Goalkeeper, and that back four. For me, I'm giving the nod to the hot hand, to the player who's truly been on fire, who's been killing it in the MLS playoffs, who's saying it's all over, and that is Dayne St. Clair. For me, the number one goalkeeper right now should be Dayne St. Clair. That goalkeeping battle is open, it's available, and I think Dayne St. Clair's won it in the MLS playoffs, and with his form coming off the back of the regular season in the MLS as well. He's been tremendous. He has that big, huge frame who can claim crosses, who can come out and make those big, huge saves, and his reactions are phenomenal as well. And you get a penalty stopper in Dayne St. Clair as well. Not saying Crepeau can't do that, because he can as well, but Dayne St. Clair has truly proven that he can in the MLS playoffs. So for me, guys, I would give the nod to Dayne St. Clair to be the number one goalkeeper for the Canadian men's national team in the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinals. And if it doesn't go well in the first leg, you simply give it to Crepeau. You can't go wrong with either of these Canadian goalkeepers. And I'll try and make a video, guys, breaking down Canada's number one and number two in the near future, probably after the first leg. But heading to that back four, going from the right to the left. Of course, the left is the most controversial side, but starting off the right side, it's got to be Alistair Johnston at right back. The Celtic man is the best numbers out of any right back in any first division in world football. He's been sensational this season for Celtic, and he's just been one of the best right backs out there, and it's very exciting to see how good Alistair Johnston has been. He has gone leaps and bounds throughout his career, and he, of course, is one of those players in this Canadian men's national team now who is an absolute lock to start, especially under Jesse Marsch. Moving to the right center back is going to be Moise Bombito. There's no question about it. There's no debate. There's no argument. Moise Bombito starts at right center back. You can't shake up the right side of the back line, and that is locked. Moise Bombito, Alistair Johnston. Moving on to left center back, where it becomes more controversial, and this is where we get to the part of the side that is a bit of a toss-up with the next three positions. And I'm going to go with the left side center back and stick to my guns in Kamal Miller. I think Kamal Miller is the obvious pick. I think he's the clear away smart pick here. He has the experience. He's done it with the Canadian men's national team. He is left-footed, and I think he's just the go-ahead pick in this scenario with Derek Cornelius out injured, who is a left-footer himself. I think you go with a left footer in Kamal Miller. I think that's just what Jesse Marsch does in this situation. It's going to be him or Joel Waterman. I think those two are truly a toss-up. I don't think we'd see Jamie Knight-Labelle get tap-tied unless we're up 3-0. I think Jamie Knight-Labelle gets cap-tied in BMO at home in a environment that's truly Canada. But for me, I'm giving left center back to Kamal Miller. I think it's the obvious choice. Left back comes absolutely controversial, where it could be a true toss-up. I put up a poll on it. Who should replace Alphonso Davies? Ali Ahmed was completely outvoted, and Richie Laryea was so far behind the vote as well. I was completely shocked that everyone was going with Sam Adekubi for the most part. And for me, I'm saying Richie Laryea still. I still believe it should be Richie Laryea. I think he's an obvious player profile. He's a clear slot in for Alphonso Davies. They bring the same kind of player profile, and I think he's a great option to replace Alphonso Davies at left back. Moving on to left mid, or right mid, my apologies, going from right to left, again, just like the back line. Right mid will be Ali Ahmed, in my opinion. I don't think Tajon Buchanan's up to fitness, of course, yet, not having played any minutes for Inter Milan. I think he'll come off the bench, as well as Junior Hoylett. So I'm going with Ali Ahmed. I think Ali Ahmed's been sensational on the wing. I think he's a great footballer. You can, if you want to change positions, if you want to change formations, you take off one of your number 9s and put on another winger. You move Ali Ahmed inside. He is so versatile. Ali Ahmed, for me, is the clear right mid choice in this side. Going with the two center mid pivots, I am going with Stefan Eustaquio once again, but also the man who comes back from injury in Ismail Kone. And guys, I'm obviously going with the 4-4-2 formation with the system. So it'll be Eustaquio and Kone for me. I think Kone will, of course, be the more forward one in possession. And I think it'll be very interesting how this plays out because Canada's going to have more possession. We're going to dominate this game, but they just got to make sure they're ready on the break. So it'll be very interesting to see how that midfield plays out, how it sits. Will Eustáquio play forward? Will Kone play forward? Will they both sit as a 6? It'll be very interesting to see how that midfield plays out. And at left mid, it's of course clearly the Nashville man in Jacob Schaffelberg. No question about it. It's got to be Jacob Schaffelberg. But up front, it's going to be Kyle Larin and David. There's no debate on who that front two is right now. Kyle Larin could be a toss-up. I think Promise David's going to have to get a look in March. I don't think Taniel Lawashi is up there yet. His goal production with Minnesota completely dried up for a while there. Theo Bair could be an option. I think he's a very exciting player and a great player profile for this Canadian men's national team as well. But for me, guys, I'm going with the 4-4-2. I'm going with DSC, Johnston, Bombito, Miller, Larea, Ahmed, Eustáquio, Kone, Schaffelberg, and Larin and David. But also, what I would prefer to see, that is my predicted lineup. What I would rather see would be a 4-2-3-1 with that same back line, but a midfield shaken up a bit of Eustáquio, Choinière, and Kone, with Kone as the 10, Schaffelberg and Ahmed with the likes of David up top. We've seen it against Uruguay in that third place match where Jesse Moore shook up the formation, he shook up the system, played a 4-2-3-1, played a 3-man midfield. We dominated that game for the most part. We should have won that match. And that was without most of our big players, most of our stars. And that was when Kone absolutely took that game by the scuff of the neck. And at Marseille now, he's been the number 10. He's been starting at Marseille when he's been healthy, when he's been fit, as a number 10. Not a 6, not an 8. Kone's mostly been playing as a 10, as a forward-thinking midfielder. So for me personally, I want to see a 4-2-3-1. But what I think Jesse goes with is the 4-4-2. And I'm going to stay, guys, to wrap it up, guys, for the video. Canada's going to win this game 3-0. Yes, it's bold, on an away pitch, on a jet lag performance, away in Suriname. I'm going to say we win the 3-0. I'm going to say it's going to be a great defensive performance, and it's going to be a continuation of Jesse Marsh getting the best out of this Canadian team and playing incredibly and truly proving Concacaf why we are the best nation currently in the region. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the lineup, what your lineup would be, your general take on this match, and your score prediction, guys. Make sure to smash that sub button. Like I said, so close to 500 subscribers. I want to keep pushing on and giving you guys the best content, whether it's YouTube Shorts, TikToks, or YouTube videos, guys. I'm going to keep bringing you guys the best content possible around the Canadian men's national team and hopefully also the CPL. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.